Now let us start with the concept of central tendency. This is a very important concept when we talk about different measures, maybe of central tendency, dispersion. The very first step before we start any statistical analysis is this central tendency. What does it mean? If I provide you with the data, a data set of 500, let's say, and you have so many observations, 500 observations in front of you, and someone, and you want to make a comment whether this data set of 500 observation, what does it reflect in a single line? The marks of 500 students, age of 500 students, wages of 500 employee, salary of 500 employee. If so many observations are there, there should be some single representative for the data set is required. बहुत सारी ऑब्जर्वेशंस हैं आपके पास, तो आप एक सिंगल लाइन में अगर उस ऑब्जर्वेशन पे कमेंट करना चाहते हैं तो आपको एक सिंगल वैल्यू जो उस पर्टिकुलर डेटा सेट को रिप्रेजेंट करती है वो चाहिए. आप ऐसे नहीं बता सकते कि मार्क्स 20, 28, 30, 42, 50, 52, 60 ये है. यू हैव टू गिव सम कंक्रीट कमेंट कि ऑन एन एवरेज, या इसका मीडियन, या इसका मोड, या इसका ज्योमेट्रिक मीन, या हार्मोनिक मीन, ये सारे क्या है मेथड्स हैं किसकी, इसकी सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी के. क्यों चाहिए? जिससे कि वो जो डेटा सेट है उसको वो रिप्रेजेंट कर सके और सिंगल लाइन में हम उस डेटा सेट पे कमेंट किया जा सके. So when we talk about this concept, it is one of the most important objectives of the statistical analysis is to find out this centermost or the central value of the observation. What it will do? This central value will represent the whole set of observations. We can define the central tendency as the parameter in a series of statistical observations which reflect a central value of that series. In other words, the major characteristic of the entire series of data is reflected by the parameter. It is called central tendency. This way you can define the central tendency, and for understanding purpose, we in a simple language we can say that single value that represent the big data set. It has been defined by the Kafka and Symphony as a measure of central tendency is a typical value around which other figures, all other values or other observations congregate. What does it mean? Let us have a small example. If I provide you the age of, let's say, people working in my organization, if I provide you this data, let's say this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another let's say 1 more, 7. Now a very simple question, this data set in single line, just to give me in single line what this data set talks about. You would say, okay, fine, this data set shows that there is a person who is of age 48 working on the same level. There is a person of the age 52 who is working on the same level. So there are the people who are of the age 48, 49, 50. Why to we want to have a single representation. That is, can I have a single value that represent all these values, and I can give a single line that this is the representation of that particular set of data, that is age. This central value about which these values will remain close. So, let's see, if I find an average of this, if it comes out to be 50, so 49 is also near to it, then 51 is also near to it, 52 is also near to it, and the 48 is also near to it. So these values are all very much getting concentrated towards a central value. I can say 50 can be a good representative of this particular data set. This is the way, this is the single value, this is where I can say that the single value is representing the data set, and in a single line I can say this is the characteristic of this particular data set. So identifying that central value is of great importance. Another definition which was given by the Croxton and Cowden, an average is a single value within the range of the data that is used to represent all the values in the series. Since an average is somewhere within the range of the data, it is sometimes also called as measures of central value. This central value will definitely always lie within the range. Within the range means 48 is a minimum value, minimum age, and highest is 52. So this central value will always lie within this range. It will never go out of that. So we may also call it a central value. How to identify this central value? How to calculate the central value, which is a representation of the all other observations? So they are called, different methods exist. So all those different methods which helps us to identify this central value comes under the topic measures of central tendency. Before we start with different measures of central tendency, let us discuss what are the basic requirement, characteristics, or I would say the desirable properties of a measures of central tendency. एक अच्छा measure of central tendency, एक अच्छा method central tendency का identify करने का, उसमें जो basic properties हैं, जो उसकी requirement है, requisite है, वो क्या क्या होनी चाहिए जब आप बोलोगे कि ये method सबसे considerable है. पहला, it should be well defined. What does it mean? It should be well defined means it should not be like that where there is remain confusion with using that particular method. There should be a proper formula. There should be a proper and clear-cut method of calculating that central value. Second, it should be easy to compute. Means आप उसमें फॉर्मूला प्लेस करें, आप कैलकुलेशन करें तो इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं हो जाना चाहिए कि वो उसकी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी के कारण देयर कैन अकर अ मिस्टेक. It should easy to understand and easy to compute, both. Then one more property, it should be based on all observations. What does it mean? It should be based on all observation means जो आपने 50 वैल्यू निकाली, अभी तो हमने आपको नहीं बताया कि 50 वैल्यू कैसे निकाली, but right now if I say using some formula I have used this, I have identified this 50 value, that formula should take care of all these observations. 49, 48, 51, 52, 50 सारी ऑब्जर्वेशंस का कंट्रीब्यूशन होना चाहिए उस फॉर्मूले में, जिस फॉर्मूले के बेसिस पर आप ये सेंट्रल वैल्यू आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे. इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक दैट कि आप सिर्फ ये देखा है कि 50, 50 दो बार रिपीट हुआ है, सो आई विल से 50 इज द central value and I have left 48. I didn't consider 52. I didn't consider 51 in the formula. It should not be like that, though it is mode. We will later take it up. So this is a very important concept where you have to take care what are the desirable properties. So we have talked about it should be well defined. It should be easy to understand. It should be easy to compute. It should be based on all observations. Further, it should be capable of further mathematical treatment. Capable of mathematical treatment means whenever you go for the further studies, whenever you go for the further apply further statistical analysis tools like correlation, regression, you go for all the parametric, non-parametric test. When you do that level of analysis, does this method is used over there? ये जो मेथड आप लगाएंगे जिससे कि सेंट्रल वैल्यू आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे, इसका कहीं आगे इस्तेमाल होता है, इसकी कोई एप्लीकेशन है? So if it is used in further mathematical calculation, it has more importance as compared to any other measure. Further, it should not be affected by extreme observation. It should not be affected by extreme observation means इसी केस में अगर हम एक वैल्यू और जोड़ते हैं, there is some person who has joined just now and the person is of, let's suppose the person is of 30 years. जैसे 30 years के एक सिंगल पर्सन ने ज्वाइन किया, ये सेंट्रल वैल्यू मीन हो, मोड हो, आपका मीडियन है. फर्दर यू हैव ज्योमेट्रिक मीन, हार्मोनिक मीन विच विल गोइंग टू स्टडी. एनी ऑफ द मेथड, जिन सब मेथड से आप ये सेंट्रल वैल्यू निकालते हैं, ये अफेक्ट नहीं होनी चाहिए. होती है बट अभी इस केस में अगर मानते हैं कि 50 जो सेंट्रल वैल्यू था, जैसे 30 इयर्स के पर्सन ने ज्वाइन किया, ये वैल्यू इट केम टू समवेयर लेट्स से 43. तो 50 से 43 पे आप आ गए. Why? Because this single value which is very small affected that method. It should not be like that. A good measure of central tendency, जो एक अच्छा मेथड होगा, वो इतनी तेजी से उस पर असर नहीं आएगा अगर बहुत छोटी वैल्यू, या एक और एग्जांपल, इससे बहुत बड़ी वैल्यू, अगर 80 इयर्स का किसी पर्सन ने ज्वाइन कर लिया तो सेंट्रल वैल्यू 50 से शिफ्ट होकर 72 चली गई. तो सिर्फ एक पर्सन ने सेंट्रल वैल्यू को ड्रैग कर लिया. इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक दैट ऑल्सो. तो ये भी एक प्रॉपर्टी होती है कि आपने जो सेंट्रल वैल्यू कैलकुलेट किया है, वो सेंट्रल वैल्यू की कैलकुलेशन इस तरह से एक्सट्रीम वैल्यू मतलब बहुत छोटी और दूसरी एक्सट्रीम वैल्यू मतलब बहुत बड़ी वैल्यू अगर ऐड हो जाती है तो उससे सेंट्रल वैल्यू बहुत ज्यादा अफेक्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. इट विल बी अफेक्टेड बट इट शुड नॉट बी अफेक्टेड टू अ ग्रेट एक्सटेंट. तो ये एक वन ऑफ द प्रॉपर्टी. Another property, it should not be affected by the fluctuation of sampling. Fluctuation of sampling means when I was working on the concept कि what is an average age or what is generally the age of the people working in this organization, तो हम सबकी एज पे नहीं जाते. जो कॉन्सेप्ट सैम्पलिंग का है तो हम इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल क्योंकि टाइम, कॉस्ट, एफर्ट सब लगेगा. हम क्या करते हैं, सैम्पलिंग के कॉन्सेप्ट पे काम करते हैं. तो सैम्पलिंग में क्या होता है, अगर सारे एम्प्लॉयज की एज का एवरेज निकालना है तो वी डोंट गो टू ईच एवरी एम्प्लॉय एंड नोट इट डाउन एंड देन ट्राई टू कैलकुलेट द एवरेज. व्हाट वी डू वर्क ऑन सैम्पलिंग. हम हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स जो डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट है उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को ले लेते हैं, उनकी एज नोट कर लिया तो ये एक सैंपल है. दिस इज अ सैंपल ऑफ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 इफ आई इंक्लूड दिस. सो आई हैव टेकन अ सैंपल ऑफ साइज n, उनका एवरेज लिया, उनका एज नोट किया, उसका एवरेज निकाला एंड देन आई सेड ओके ऑन एन एवरेज द पीपल हु आर वर्किंग इन दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दे आर ऑफ एज 50. तो ये हमने कंक्लूजन कर लिया बेस्ड ऑन द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सैम्पलिंग. तो ये जो मेथड है जिससे आपने 50 कैलकुलेट किया है वो सैम्पलिंग फ्लक्चुएशन से अफेक्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. कि आप सैम्पलिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट कौन सा लगा रहे हैं. जो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सैम्पलिंग है, आप स्ट्रैटिफाइड सैम्पलिंग लगा रहे हैं, अगर आपने रैंडम सैम्पलिंग अप्लाई किया है, आपने करेंट सैम्पलिंग से रिलेटेड जो फ्लक्चुएशंस होते हैं उससे ये वैल्यू को अफेक्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. सो वी कम टू दिस very important concept. There are broadly 7 characteristics or 7 requisite or 7 properties of a good measure of central tendency. अब होते कौन कौन से मेथड्स हैं, कौन कौन से मेजर्स हैं 50 वैल्यू निकालने के, सॉरी सेंट्रल वैल्यू निकालने के. देयर आर बेसिकली 3 measures of central tendency. First, mean, median and mode. And mean can again be further divided into 3 types. Mean is of 3 types. First, arithmetic mean, जिसे हमें day to day this is a habit we call it average, और simply हम mean से उसको denote करते हैं. When we say mean, we mean that we are referring to arithmetic mean, AM, that we call it. Another is geometric mean and third is harmonic mean. 3 types of mean are there and mean is one of the type of measure of central tendency. Further, median and mode. There is one more categorization. In many books, statistician has given 2 types of central tendency. One is mathematical, arithmetic, and other is positional. Position के basis पर जो निकाला जाता है वो है median and mode. और arithmetic, pure arithmetic calculation से जो निकाला जाता है वो होता है mean. Mean के फिर further 3 types हैं. So you should also remember one important concept. If you are talking about the mathematical mean, these 3 comes AM, GM, HM. Arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean. If you are talking about the positional case, positional average, then median and mode will come. So depending upon the position, we have median and mode. Based on some calculation arithmetic, we have mean. Mean is of 3 types. Now, you can see the chart which is there in front of you. We have broadly categorized the measures of central tendency. It is of 3 types: mean, median, and mode. Mean is further been divided into 3 types: arithmetic, geometric, harmonic, which we have discussed just now. Arithmetic mean is of further 3 types: simple arithmetic mean, weighted arithmetic mean, and mean of composite group. We have three types of arithmetic mean. Remember, and when I say arithmetic mean, don't get confused with the word average, which we generally use as a synonym of arithmetic mean. So you have to be very comfortable when I say average, it is okay. Average and arithmetic mean is the same thing. So there are three types of arithmetic mean: simple, weighted, and composite.